All right, everyone, we've got some bad news. The Liberals, in coalition with the NDP and Bloc, have just passed the censorship bill out of the House of Commons. I'm here with the great Rachel Thomas, who's been fighting against this censorship bill all along. The good news is that the fight is not over. What happens next?
Well, what happens next? It goes back to the Senate. They will have to debate it there and determine whether or not they want to fight for the amendments that they felt were necessary to begin with. If they decide to amend it, of course, we'll see it back here in the House of Commons. If they decide not to amend it, then unfortunately it will go forward and become legislation.
Okay, so this is the way it bounces to the Senate. We have some real free speech warriors there, led by Leo Vassakis, a great Spartan warrior who held the thing up in the Senate for almost a year, a good part of a year. He's going to go back to the Senate right now. He's going to fight like hell to stop it from passing. And if it does pass, though, then we're going to look for other ways to challenge it and fight it. We're going to fight against the CRTC to make sure that we limit their ability to censor what you see and say online. And we're going to have some creative ideas to help you go around liberal censorship. One of them is by signing our petition now. Not only will add your voice to the fight for free speech, but it will allow us to go around the censors to contact you directly. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's so important for Canadians to have their voice heard in this as well. It can be heard. Because we do know that this bill is all about censorship. We know that the government is putting control in the hands of the CRTC, and they're going to determine what gets posted, what doesn't, what gets seen, what doesn't, what gets heard, what doesn't.
And they have to win. If you can hear in the background a bunch of Bloc Québécois and NDP members celebrating the fact that they're going to be able to censor what you see and say online. This is the kind of sick thinking that we have among the three woke parties. They're celebrating that you're going to have a limited voice. The good news is we're going to fight back. We might lose the battle, but we're going to win the war for free speech in this country. We're going to put you back in charge of your life. We're going to make this the freest country on earth. It's the common sense of the common people united for our common home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home.
What's up, YouTube? Rogue here, and I come to you today with a very solemn message, a very solemn video. Canada, as we know it, is dying. Canada, as we know it, is dying rather fast. The sacrifices that our men and women made in war are being pissed on. I discovered yesterday that Justin Trudeau's bill of censorship has passed. This means, as you saw from the opening of this video, that if the bill gets through the Senate, that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals will have the ability to censor what we say and what we see online. This is the next step of Trudeau's tyranny, and I dread to think what comes after this. We've seen how Justin Trudeau deals with his opposition. We have seen him demean, dehumanize, demonize those that stand against him. And we have seen that when he is confronted, he runs and hides like the little bitch that he is. Our men and women, our Canadians who are alive today, have family members who fought and died to give us the freedoms that Trudeau is pissing on with this bill. In Canada, we are supposed to have the freedom of religion and practice of said religion on the condition that it does not harm another person. We are supposed to have freedom of speech, freedom of thought, and freedom of expression. That is what our men and women died in war to give us. That is what our men and women came home, if at all, came home broken, in some cases mutilated, and at very least bloody, so that the next generation after them, and my generation, and future generations after me, could live in peace and safety and freedom. Now, some people might say that he's just fighting false news. He's fighting false, fake news. He's fighting what is deemed to be misinformation. But where does it stop? Where does it stop? I am a Christian. I know that we are not popular. Do I have to be worried that I'm going to have SWAT kicking in my door to take away my Bible? Do I have to be worried that I'm going to have SWAT kicking in my door if they can find me? Because I post Christian content? Do I have to be worried about my channel being destroyed because I post Christian content? Yeah, I do. I do have to be worried about that because this bill will give him the ability and the freedom to do so. Correction. He might have the ability, but he will never have the right or freedom to rape the Canadian people like he wants to do and like he's trying to do. So I make this video to say my piece. I post this video so that I can be heard before it's too late. I don't know what Pierre plans to do with Canada when he's Prime Minister, and I don't know what he plans to do with the laws that Trudeau gets put in place before he comes to office. But I do know that me as a Christian, my Christian brothers and sisters, will be safe under Pierre. And so Pierre has my vote. Because we need Trudeau gone. If by some off chance Trudeau somehow manages to weasel his way back into power through the election, I'm making this video to simply say, you're not taking my rights, you're not taking my freedoms anymore. I'm going to say what I want to say, I'm going to think what I want to think, and the only thing you have to do is like it. Apologies for the change in lighting. I decided that there was more that I wanted to add to this, but it's late at night now, so I'm speaking at a lower tone. It's almost 3 in the morning now, and people are in bed, so forgive me for adding this, but this is the best time I have to do this. I am posting a link to a petition that the Conservatives have put in place to fight this bill, and I implore you Canadians to sign it. I also want to say that my heart is for all Canadians. I talk a lot about the Christians that I'm concerned about, but Christianity, if you're not a Christian, if you're watching this and you're not a Christian, what you need to understand is that Christianity is very family based. We are a family. And so when you mess with brothers and sisters, just like with your family, if somebody messed with your family, you would take it personally. You would step up for your family. You would defend your family. And Christianity, Christians, are a family. We are brothers, we are sisters under Christ. And so that's what's at the forefront of my heart. But that doesn't exclude all Canadians. That doesn't exclude those that are atheist. That doesn't exclude those that are, whatever the case may be, wherever you're at in your life. I don't exclude you. Just understand that Christianity and Christians are at the forefront of my heart and mind. I've seen a lot of wrong done to my brothers and sisters from those who should be protecting us. I've seen us go ignored. I've seen us go disregarded. And I see this bill as being another means to doing that. So I'm posting the petition so that Canadians can fight back. And whether you consider yourself conservative or not, I think you can understand the value unless you are along the same mindset as Trudeau is, I think you can see the value in having dialogue. Why do we have to censor everything? Why do we have to shut down dissenting viewpoints? Whatever happened to being able to have dialogue? Whatever happened to be able to have a conversation? Whatever happened to being able to say, I disagree with you, but I still respect you? It's no secret, I shouldn't have to say this, it's no secret that we all come from different backgrounds, we all come from different viewpoints, we all have different upbringings, so we're not all going to be on the same page. Is the world stuck in this preschool mindset of, if you don't agree with me, you hate me? That is some of the most preschool immature thinking. To say that if you don't agree with me, you automatically hate me. No, I have a different upbringing. I have different life experiences than you. I have different viewpoints and feelings than you do. I am what you are trying to be, an individual. I hear Pierre talking a lot about common sense. What is more common sense than that? And yet here we are, with a person who is running the country with a preschool mindset. As I said, we have seen him demonize, we have seen him dehumanize, we have seen him run away when somebody has a different opinion than him. He has no ability to dialogue whatsoever with people that disagree with him. He doesn't even do so in the House of Commons. Every accusation that the Conservatives throw at him, every point of contention that the Conservatives throw at him, he just dodges and weaves every single one of them. Every one of them that I have ever seen, he just dodges and weaves. What happened when he was ordered to give an apology to the Conservative members when he likened them to Nazis? And at least two Jewish Conservative members stood up and demanded an apology. He ran away. He ignored them, and then he ran away. I'll show you. Watch for yourself what he did.
Hopeful vision for public life isn't a naive dream. It could be a powerful force for change. If Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. Those are the words of the Prime Minister in 2015. These people, very often misogynistic, racist, women haters, science deniers, the fringe. Same Prime Minister 6 years later as he fans the flames of an unjustified national emergency. So, Mr. Speaker, when did the Prime Minister lose his way? When did it happen?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas. They can stand with people who wave the Confederate flag.
Mr. Speaker, I've never seen such shameful and dishonourable remarks coming from this Prime Minister. My great-grandfather flew over 30 missions over Nazi Germany. My great-great-uncle's body lies at the bottom of the English Channel. There are members of this Conservative caucus who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. For the Prime Minister to accuse any colleague in this House of standing with the swastika is shameful. I'm giving the Prime Minister an opportunity. I'm calling on him to unreservedly apologize for this shameful remark.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians deserve their freedoms back. Mr. Speaker, these illegal blockades that have continued to interfere with people's livelihoods, to interfere with people's daily lives,
have to interrupt the Honourable Prime Minister, so ask everyone to calm down so we can hear the answer. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, The measures put forward in this Emergencies Act are proportional, are responsible, and quite frankly, are completely folded within the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The steps that we are taking are important and measured to restore order and freedoms to Canadians in this country. That is exactly what we are doing.
Well, member for Sturgeon River, Parkland.
Mr. Speaker, the lack of an apology from that Prime Minister speaks volumes. I have given this Prime Minister an opportunity to retract a shameful remark where he would accuse any honourable member of this House to stand with a swastika. As I said before, we have colleagues who are the descendants of victims of the Holocaust. I'm giving the Prime Minister one more chance. Will he apologize to all members of this House?
That's the right honourable Prime Minister.
The members of the Conservative Party are calling to take more action over the past 2 weeks on this. They continued to stand with and encourage these illegal blockades. Mr. Speaker, Canadians are watching carefully and see exactly where the Conservative politicians who've stood with those blockades are standing. We will stand on the side of Canadians who deserve their lives back, who deserve their livelihoods back.
Member for Sturgeon River, Parkland.
My apologies, Speaker. I didn't write these out. But the fact is, I don't know how any member of the government caucus can stand by this Prime Minister when he accuses honourable members of this House of standing with a swastika. I'm calling on all members of the Liberal caucus to denounce the Prime Minister. I have given him 2 chances to apologize. He has refused to apologize. Mr. Prime Minister, apologize.
Once again, I want to remind the honourable members, I know this is getting emotional, but place your questions through the Speaker, not directly to each other. The right honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. These illegal blockades have been going on in Ottawa for 20 days now. People have been interrupted in their daily lives, have been made to feel fearful, have been made to miss shifts at their work across southern Ontario. These are things that cannot be stood for, which is why we're moving forward with a responsible set of measures to allow the local police jurisdiction to do their jobs. We continue to defend freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, as long as it's peaceful and legal, Mr. Speaker.
I am a strong Jewish woman and a member of this House and a descendant of Holocaust survivors, and I have never it's never been singled out, and I have never been made to feel less, except for today when the Prime Minister accused me of standing with swastikas. I think he owes me an apology. I'd like an apology, and I think he owes an apology to all members of this House.
This is the leader that we have, and this is why Canada is on its way to its grave. It has been for a long time, and this bill is just another nail in the coffin. And I am not about to rest in peace. So, as I said, I am sharing a link to the petition that the Conservative Party has put forward, and I implore you, if you care about this country, sign it, whether you consider yourself a conservative or not, for the sake of the humanity of this country and those that came before, and especially for those who will come after. I implore you to sign it, as I have.